So one of the joys of spring is dandelions everywhere, and a lot of people don't like dandelions because they're a weed, but I absolutely love it. Usually you can't make jams and stuff like that until late summer, early fall, but the one good thing about spring is the dandelions is you get to make some dandelion jam. I made this last year and my family loved it, and I gave it out as gifts, and I just wanted everybody to try it. I really didn't sell any of it. I just wanted people to try it so that way this year, hopefully I can sell it at the farmer's market. But it's something that's really simple, and I would just say that if you go and pick dandelions, please make sure that it's not in an area where animals pee or poop, and please make sure that the yard is not sprayed with chemicals that could seriously hurt you, hurt your family, your friends, or people that you're selling this product to. So just make sure that you don't have any of that and you are good to go. Just pick a pot full of them and throw some water in there and cook it on the stove. There's a few other things that you need, so stay tuned and watch this video, and I hope that you like it. If you do, please comment below, and I will put all of the ingredients down in the description box. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thanks. Alright, so the first thing that I did was we went outside and picked a whole bunch of dandelions, and we just picked off the heads of them. You don't really need the stems. Some of them I've got a little bit of a stem, so it's not a big deal, but there's a lot of grass and stuff in here. So I let this soak in here for about 20 minutes, just enough to cover it to where I can just push this down. Now what I'm going to do is I have my strainer right here, so I'm just going to take a handful, get it all washed off in the strainer, and then I'm going to put it into another bowl so that way I can get all this grass and bugs and whatever else, little droplings that were in there. So I'm going to get that done, get them rinsed, and then I will bring you back. Okay, so I have all of the dandelions washed. Some of them have a couple of the stems now. I try to pull as many of those off as possible because the stems can be kind of sour and we want our jam to be sweet. But I went ahead and put all that in a bowl. Now what I'm going to drain out is all the dirty, nasty water from the dandelions. So I just want to rinse my pot out real quick. Okay, and all that we're going to do is we're going to take our dandelions and pour them back in our pot. Then we're going to put just enough water to cover the top of our dandelions. Now, I don't know how many dandelions I picked. I just picked almost a half to 3/4 full stock pot in my pot here. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to put this on the stove and I'm going to cook it until it boils. And when it comes to a boil, a rolling boil, where when you stir it that it doesn't stop boiling, I'm going to let it boil for 10 minutes. So when it starts to boil, I'll bring you back so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so they have come to a rolling boil. So I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes because that's how long it needs to boil. And probably like in between, I'm just going to give it a couple stirs. I've just been coming by about every couple minutes and just giving it a small little stir. The water is starting to get really dark, and with it boiling, it's going to get even darker. So we're going to get this done, and once it reaches the 10 minutes, then we will drain the water off of the flowers. Okay, so I'll meet you back in about 10 minutes. Alright, well I just turned off the pot about a couple of seconds ago. So our dandelions have cooked for 10 minutes, a rolling boil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the liquid off of the flowers. So I'm going to move this back over here. So you guys can see. And I'm just reusing my strainer in my bowl here. I got them all rinsed out. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. That pot out, and we just need to strain off the liquid here. And you're going to need to have about 3.5 to 4 cups of liquid. This is really hard to do by yourself. So I'm going to get this all strained off and I'll be back. Okay, so here is our steaming pot of dandelion water. So we need 3.5 cups. So I'm going to see how much we have here. There's 1, 2, still have a little bit of particle in there, but that's okay. There's 3. So we have 3.5. I'm gonna see how much we have left. 4. 4.5, 5, 5.5, so we will just say an even 6. So we're gonna make 2 batches, yay. Okay, so for just a single batch, you get 3.5 cups. So you could probably do a half a pot that you fill up of your dandelions, and then you just cover them in the water for just one single coat. So I'm gonna let this boil. We need to bring it to another boil, and then once it comes to a rolling boil, we will add our other ingredients in it. So I'm gonna get this boiling and I will meet you guys back. Alright, so before this comes to a complete boil, I'm gonna add in 2 of my ingredients, which is gonna be a pectin. Now, you can go to the store and get a jar of it, and it's going to cost you around $5, or you could get a double pack like this, and it is the original, and it's for fruit pectin is what it needs to say. I get this double pack here, and it's the same price as if I buy 1 jar, and you get 6 tablespoons, I believe, out of 1 jar, and this you get 5 tablespoons out of each box. So it's cheaper and a better buy if you get a double pack. And I got these at Walmart. They didn't have the jar, and so when I was trying to find the pectin, I found this in the double pack, so I was like really excited. Okay, so you have to have 6 tablespoons of pectin per batch, and we're doing 2 batches, so I have 12 tablespoons of pectin. Then we need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I go to the produce section and pick up one of these little guys here, and because I don't use lemon juice very often other than when I make hot sauce or this. So we need 2 tablespoons, but I need 4. Squeeze. Okay. So there's that. And I lost my little thing. There it is. And I'm going to give this a stir. And I'm just going to let this keep cooking until it's at a full boil. So this is going to help thicken it up with the pectin, and the lemon juice is just kind of to dull down on the bite of the dandelion. But I'm just going to keep on stirring this for a little bit, and then just wait for it to come up to a boil and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so we have come to a rolling boil. So now I just need this to, I gotta stir it. And while this is boiling, I'm gonna add my sugar. Now for one batch, it's 6 cups of sugar, which I know it seems like a whole lot, but trust me, it's like super duper delicious. But I have to add 12 cups of sugar since I'm doing a double batch. So maybe I should just dump the whole bag in there, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how many cups of sugar is in this bag, but we'll see. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, we're going with 11 because that's my whole bag. I'm not opening up another one. Okay, it's 11 cups of sugar. Woo! Who's ready for a sugar rush? Because, my goodness. Alright, so now that this is at a boil, I have to keep it going a boil, and I need to stir it constantly for 2 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do to get this sugar dissolved and everything mixed together. So I will see you back in a couple minutes. Alright, well it's been 2 minutes. I switched to my whisk stir. I'll turn this off. Only because the sugar started to clump up in big balls, so I needed to get my whisk out and get that all to where it was dissolved. So this boiled up pretty high, so I kind of had to turn it down to a medium heat, but it stayed boiling. But I just turned the heat off, so I want this to kind of simmer down just for a few minutes. I'm going to get my jars ready. I have them in some hot water, so that way I don't break my jars when I go to pour this steaming hot jam in there. So yeah, so I'm going to get everything set up and then I'll bring you back so that way you can see the jam get poured into the jars. So I'll be back in just a few. Okay, so I just laid a towel down on my table because this can be sticky and messy, and it's just easier to do it that way that I think it is. So I have me a big ladle, and I have one of these jar things, I don't know what the heck they're called, funnels? Yeah, that's what it's called. So I'm just gonna dip this in there so I don't get my rim all messy, and I'm gonna fill it up till it reaches the brim, like right here on my jar. I'm gonna make a super big mess. I have a bigger ladle, but I have no idea where I put it. It's MIA. So this is what it's gonna look like. So beautiful. The one good thing about this jam is because it's really stinking hot, you just have to put your lids and your rings on, and it will self-seal it because of the heat off the jar. So it makes it really nice that I don't have to can the jam too. So I'm just gonna keep on trucking along here, and I'll be back when I get them filled. Alright, well I got a full 12 jars. Some of the pectin and sugar started to get solid, which is not gonna hurt this at all because it's all gonna get solid. So I wiped off all of the tops of my jars off. I wanted to make sure I didn't have any of the liquid still on the tops, because then it's not going to seal right. So I'm just going to put my lids on here, and I've washed them and sanitized them. So I'm just going to kind of wipe them off, get them on here. And this did make 12, so I was really excited about that. And these are just half pint jars. That's all I did. I'm just gonna tighten them, set them off to the side, and they'll be ready in the morning to enjoy with the toast. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you do, give me the thumbs up. If you have any suggestions of anything that maybe would change this a little bit, that would be great to know. I made this last year and it was just so delicious. I could not wait for spring to come. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.